Tennessee Titans just have 2 games left in the 2025 NFL season, but I know everybody's eyes are on the head coaching search. And our good friend Dianna Russini, she gave an update on the Titans head coaching search and some of the top candidates. We'll go over them in just a second, but welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. Here's what she said in her article. Tennessee Titans General Manager Mike Borgonzi and President of Football Operations Chad Brinker are leading the organization's head coaching search. And I'm told their list is taking shape. So they're already, with 2 games left until the coaching search begins, already kind of shrinking down that search, trying to find, all right, who is going to be that big candidate? Who is going to head coach the Tennessee Titans in 2026? And while the entire organization and front office is looking to figure out who is going to coach, well, the players, they still got a game ahead of them. And if you didn't know, they play the New Orleans Saints this weekend. 2.5-point favorites for the Saints, but it's in Nissan Stadium. And the Titans got their first win at home in over a year. So maybe they can get it going. I know some people want them to tank. I know some people don't want them to win at all. Excuse me. But I know that if I was a Titans fan, I would want Cam Ward to develop. So I'd go ahead and win that one. Before we get into it, I'll ask you guys, who do you want as head coach? Who do you want to hire as head coach? We have gone on videos on multiple candidates. And my top target is Mike McCarthy. So you let me know down in the comments section. Unfortunately, Dianna Russini said Mike McCarthy is not the top candidate for the Titans. And it is Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy is the top candidate for the Titans head coaching search once the search begins after the season. And I'll say, we've talked about him on this channel before. This is no surprise whatsoever. All the roads just led all the way back to Matt Nagy, because where was he at last year? Or where was he at the last couple of years? Well, he's been with the Kansas City Chiefs. And why do the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans have connections? Well, their general manager, Mike Borgonzi, was with Kansas City for years as the assistant GM before coming over to Tennessee. He's been the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs for the last 2 Super Bowl wins and also the Chiefs Super Bowl loss last year. But he's gotten an opportunity as head coach before. He was the Bears head coach from 2018 to 2021. And I mean, he did win Coach of the Year in 2018, brought the Bears to the playoffs. We all remember the double doink. But in my opinion, this is just disappointing. He's not like really any type of splash hire. He's not the guy that you're going to look at and be like, he is going to be the guy that takes the Titans from here and put them to the promised land. That's just not the type of guy that Matt Nagy is. He's had his opportunity before to be a head coach in the NFL, and he's not really proven himself. He was the head coach of the Bears for just a couple seasons. And did they do anything in the playoffs? No. An 0-2 record. And total in his whole entire career, what's their record? 34-33. That's his record as head coach. And the Titans, when you have a really good franchise quarterback right in front of you, Cam Ward, you want to kind of excel. Take that spot from making that next step to being a contender. Does Matt Nagy do that? No. And also, the biggest thing for me is I always talk about an offensive-minded head coach. Well, he's an offensive-minded head coach, but he does not call the plays in Kansas City. It is Andy Reid. He doesn't call the plays in KC. He's never called plays. So you want to hire a head coach who doesn't call plays just because he's your good old friend? I am not okay with that. An offensive coordinator that has had success with a top quarterback but doesn't call plays and is a head coaching candidate. It's a recipe for disaster. And who is that? Who is that head coach? Who is that head coach that was an offensive coordinator, had success with a really good quarterback, and also didn't call plays? Are we getting deja vu here? Because I'm getting deja vu here. Oh, yeah, it was the guy you hired back in 2019, Brian Callahan. It's the same exact thing. Brian Callahan, successful offensive coordinator with the Cincinnati Bengals, worked with Joe Burrow, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Did he call plays? No. Did you hire him as a head coach? Yes. Did you succeed in Tennessee? No. That did not happen. Why would you want to do this again? Why? Because Brian Callahan doesn't bring the culture, and neither does Matt Nagy. It is a carbon copy. So if you hired him, like I said, it would just be a recipe for disaster. It is an automatic, probably failure, and it's not going to look good. You're going to have mediocrity for the next 3 years, and you're going to be right back where you started, back here today, and it is December 23rd, 2025. And in December 23rd and probably 2028, you're going to be sitting here talking about, well, we got to look for a new head coach. Maybe even before then. Maybe it might even be 2027. So I'm going out somebody who can call plays, who's been proven, or do anything. It's just the way it is. And Dianna Russini, she also listed a bunch of defensive coordinators for the Tennessee Titans to possibly be interviewed for the head coaching job. And I've said it before, I'm not really into hiring a DC, but there's some guys on this list where I look at and I'm like, okay, yeah, I would definitely take an interview with these guys. Lou Anarumo, he's done a great job with the Colts. I will say, Brock Purdy lit up their defense yesterday, and Jesse Minter would probably be the only other guy that I hire. But if you hired a defensive coordinator to be your next head coach, you have a major, major question to ask. Who is going to be the offensive coordinator? That's your question. You could hire a defensive coach and then maybe go out and get a top offensive coordinator. Like in case Mike McDaniel did get fired from the Miami Dolphins, which I don't think he would, but he could be an offensive coordinator. But you have to go out and find one. And are you willing to go out and find one? I mean, Grant Udinski is out there in Jacksonville. He doesn't call plays, but I would give him an opportunity to call plays 110%. You could go out and get that offensive coordinator, but you have to go find also an OC. You have to find somebody that can develop Cam Ward. And if you get a defensive-minded head coach, yeah, you can bring in the culture, but you automatically are like, okay, well, he's not going to be able to develop Cam Ward. He's not going to be able to develop to take him to the next level. He's going to have to find his second right-hand man to be able to do that because he's not an offensive-minded guy. So, in my opinion, you have to hire an offensive coach. You have to hire a guy who's called plays called plays before. He knows exactly what he's doing because Cam Ward needs to get the best head coach possible. It is all about your franchise guy. That's it. That's it. What coach would you hire? Would you go offensive or would you go defensive? Like I said, I'm not even looking at defensive coaches, not in any way, shape, or form. I'm typing my O down in the chat, but if you disagree with me, go down and type your Ds. Coming up on the back half of the show, the NFL released their Pro Bowlers. And even though the Titans are 3-12 on the season, well, they still got a couple of them, and I think you guys could take a guess on who it will be. We'll get into that in a second, but first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once, and while you and I are out here making decisions every day on what gifts to buy, what to eat, what game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you can cash in. It's everybody's favorite holiday promotion on Prize Picks, and it's back. 7 days of Picksmas. Prize Picks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day, including a Christmas Day max discount. Picksmas starts December 20th, so you got to download today and unwrap those deals. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It could be football. It could be basketball. It could be hockey, esports. I know once the spring starts, I'm going to be getting into motorsports. But it all happens just on Prize Picks. So download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, so the Titans, They have just 2 Pro Bowlers. But, I mean, when you're one of the worst teams in football, they did come off a big win over the Kansas City Chiefs. It's kind of shocking that you do have 2 Pro Bowlers. But the first one, I'm not going to say much about him because we all know who Jeffrey Simmons is. We all know that he's the best defensive tackle in the NFL by far. I think the next person would probably be around Milton Williams or someone on the Texans at least. But there's nothing to really talk about Simmons. He deserves the Pro Bowl. You see the stats right there. Everything. He's a dog. He deserves it. Good. If he wasn't, then that would have been a different story. But he is. The one I want to talk about the most is kind of the big surprise here. And it's not a surprise if you watch the Titans every week. Chimere Dike has been selected to the 2026 NFL Pro Bowl games, and he has just been a dual threat type of player and a really kind of surprise. I mean, taking him in the later rounds of the draft, you really said, all right, this guy's going to be just a returner, just a special teams guy. But you could see right there, 41 receptions. He's been both good on the return end and also good in the receiving end. His full stats for the 2025 season, like I said, 41 catches, 8.3 yards per catch, 6 total touchdowns, 4 touchdowns on offense, and 2 returns, and then all-purpose yards. He leads the NFL in all-purpose yards at 22.69. Has a chance to break the record. He's going to need to return a lot more kicks the last 2 games and a lot more punts. Hopefully he can get there. But, I mean, not only should he be a Pro Bowler, he should be an All-Pro. He is an all-pro returner, and he is a star in the making. To be doing this as a rookie, he should have 3, maybe even 4, and a lot of the returns got called back. But I'm glad to see Dike getting his opportunity, getting his flowers for how good of a season that he has had, and that's one person that you're going to be looking at for the Titans and saying, wow, they hit on that draft pick. And he's going to be playing in the Pro Bowl games, and you're going to be able to see that true speed that he has. But I thought the Titans should have had 3 players make it to the Pro Bowl. Cedric Gray, who has been one of the best players on this Titans defense, was snubbed from the Pro Bowl games. And you can see right there, 144 tackles. We didn't know at linebacker where he was going to be because it was a battle between him and Otis Reese and a couple of other players and him next to Cody Barton. He's been really good. But Cedric Gray has kind of been a breakout year for him. And when you look at the other guy who made the Pro Bowl, Azeez Al-Shaair, who plays for the Houston Texans, look at the stats. 144 tackles to 96. 6 tackles for loss. Azeez, only 1. Oh, who has a sack? Cedric Gray. Yeah, Azeez has more PBUs, 8. But look at the PFF grade. Who has more? Oh, what do you know? It's Cedric Gray. Why did Azeez Al-Shaair make it over Cedric Gray? And there is one reason why. It's obviously because the Texans are in the running. They made the playoffs yesterday with the Colts loss. And the Titans are 3-12. So it's clear they just want to put the more winning team in the Pro Bowl games rather than one of the worst teams in the NFL. But if you asked me who has a better year, not counting the team, it's obviously Cedric Gray. So before we get on out of here, I'll ask you guys, pick a linebacker. Who do you think's had the better season? Who do you think deserves it more? Is it Cedric Gray? Type your CGs. Or if it's Azeez Al-Shaair, type your AAs down in the chat. We got you covered all throughout the Titans head coaching search. It's going to go on for a long time, and it starts literally in 3 weeks. So we have you covered every single day here on Titans Today. Make sure you hit that sub button, and as always, tighten up.